Hi everyone. Hello, Yenesis. Hi, Stephanie. Thanks for joining me. It is a charter school, National Charter School Week, and we're celebrating everything that is charter school and choice. And I thought, what a great opportunity to put a face on choice than some alums from one of my favorite charter schools in the state, Matter Academy in Hialeah Gardens. So we're going to start with Yenesis. Will you introduce yourself, please, and tell us when you graduated?
Yes, of course. Hi, my name is Yenesis. I'm Cuban American. I went to Matter, as stated right now. I graduated Matter from 2018, proud alum, and I am currently at Hamilton College, about to graduate in 2 weeks.
Great. Awesome. Stephanie?
Hi, I'm Stephanie. I also graduated from Matter in 2018. I think maybe Yenesis too, but I was part of like the Matter Performing Arts Academy. So did a lot of performing arts during my time at Matter. And just also a super proud alum. And my sister goes there right now, and she's going to be a junior next year. And I am graduating from Wellesley College also in like 2 weeks and like 3 days. And yeah.
Great. So we'll go back to Yenesis. So tell us about your experience at Matter and at a charter school, and how you came to that school, that your parents made that decision, I'm assuming, or if you chose it. Can you give us a little background on that?
Yes, actually, in a way, I chose it. I'm the one that told my parents, like, I think I want to go to this school. I've heard great things about it. I heard kids, achieve the outcome that they want in reference to the school they want to go to. And the school really pushes you towards that goal. Like, it's not passive. Matter is very active in getting you to where you want to be and giving you the resources, the programs, and they go above and beyond for you. So knowing a school that was going to give me a support system and having essentially what's like community organizers and people that really care, like Macho, like my drama teacher that I ended up getting really close to, and that forever changed my life and helped me find my passion. Having these people that really care for you, and for this, not just for the student, but for the person, which goes such a long way in building not only like academic skills, but life skills. I knew like this is a school for me. Like, I remember visiting before being a freshman, and Macho was like, oh, like, this is a school where you're going to belong, and we're going to give you what you want and more. And we're going to challenge you at the same time. We're not going to just let your potential be there and sit there. We're going to make you grow. And that's exactly what I ended up getting. And throughout my 4 years at Matter, both Macho and my drama teacher, like Delis Richie, which changed not only my life, but so many of the people that were there in that drama club, just pushed me and saw something in me that I did not see in myself at the time. And till this day, the seeds that they planted were unbelievable. And what I like about Matter, and I think charter schools in general, is that not only do they help you find your passion, they also develop a hard work ethic, and they also help you become a successful individual holistically. So for instance, with Macho, any opportunity that she saw fit for me. So Steph and I were actually a part of this. We were in like a ACE Women Leadership Institute, where it was a group of women that were empowered by succeeding women in the community. So women like Lisa Lee, like Lucy Lopez, we got to meet some of them in like this reception that they did for us. And it was a collection of women from students from charter schools that got to meet these women succeeding in the community. And to me, to see women in my community that look like me succeeding, and that tiran algo en español ahí, and I'm like, oh, okay, so like this is bilingual success, like, okay, that's amazing. And you just see the biculturalism and Matter too, which was something prioritized by the people, like pastelito guayaba in the mornings, like in Spanish, like chemistry. That teacher also changed my life, Miss Hernandez. She would teach me chemistry sometimes in Spanish, and I would go along with it, and I would like do well. And like people think, oh, like what, in Spanish? And I'm like, yeah, like I that year got student of the year in chemistry. And like I did so good, to the point where I was like, maybe med school. But then drama came along, and I was like, no. So like quick, like Delis Richie, amazing, amazing human being. And actually through her is where I met Bill Tech, which is still my current boss today. So being in the drama club opened opportunities for jobs for me. And I think that's the nature of charter schools, innovating and giving kids opportunities to succeed in the real world. And I was able to use my education in theater to not only help me become a better public speaker and just a better communicator, which is something that I'm passionate about with issues like Cuba and a lot of things in education. But it gave me the direct route and pathway to like, oh, these are real world experiences that you could use for your life.
It's
Wow.
beautiful.
Yenesis, I don't know how I can follow up with that.
You got this, Steph. Steph was a Silver Knight winner for dance. I'm just gonna plug that in there. She said performing arts. We're just going in the arts and pushing that through. But go ahead.
Absolutely. Right. Well, what I love about both of you, the arts, but the academics did not take back seat.
Oh,
I mean,
no.
That's one thing I know about the school you all attended, that they go neck and neck. There is no getting a free pass because you're in drama or anything like that. You have to perform academically.
Yeah, I mean, to jump on that, and I'll share a little bit kind of like how I got to Matter, because my journey is slightly different from Yenesis in the sense that I started at Matter since middle school. But talking about the performing arts, and I mean, so I was on the dance team, the competitive dance team, starting my sophomore year. And I think something that like Matter taught me is to not give up and to persevere and to face challenges and not succumb to them in the face of them, because I tried out for that dance team 4 years in a row since I was like in 7th grade, and I didn't make it until my sophomore year, but I just persevered. And I think the students that were there, like the older students that had been dancing forever, like they were really encouraging to me. And there's just so many wonderful parts about Matter that I think have stuck with me in my time at college and have like spurred me on to seek those same opportunities or seek those same kinds of communities here, like people who would be really encouraging and also seeing potential in me too. But like I was a dancer, and I was like practicing like 3.5 hours after school every single day, and my academics were like I was flourishing academically. And so what I'm trying to say is that while I was being challenged very much physically, I was still also being intellectually challenged, to the point where like both parts of my life were really helping me grow as a person overall and as a student. And like one didn't take away from the other. It was like one was adding to the other. And like I've kept dancing in college, and not as much because I don't have the same amount of time, but I still have that passion for dance. And I see the arts in a different way than I think a lot of other people do, maybe because I just see it as like an enhancer. Like if we don't allow ourselves to explore that side of our minds and our bodies, then I think we're limiting ourselves. But Matter really gave me the space to explore. And now jumping back to kind of my journey and how I got to Matter, my mom was the one who really said, okay, you're not going to go to this other school. You're going to go here, and we're going to apply, and I want you to get into this school. And I think at that point, I didn't even really know or understand like what college was. And I just was so naive. I don't want to say naive, but I was just not, I had not been exposed too much to like this idea of success, I guess you can say. But my mom, being an immigrant parent, like she always was trying to put my best foot forward, even though I didn't really know how to do that yet because I was, young, so young. But I got into Matter, and I went through middle school, and I stayed for high school, and it was the best decision. And I can't believe that I spent 7 years at Matter, but I did. And it was just like one of the best decisions too that my mom could make for me as a parent. And I just like, I have seen the fruit of being at Matter, because like I was saying or hinting at earlier, the decisions that I've made, like to come to Wellesley and to step out. And I feel like Yenesis can also relate to this, because we both left Miami and we came to places that are very culturally different from what we've been used to. But I think in so many different ways, Matter equipped me. They gave me the tools, and they gave me the skills that I knew, well, that I guess I didn't know, but they knew that I needed to be able to succeed in a place that's so academically rigorous like Wellesley or Hamilton. Um, and also, like I was saying, my sister is at Matter, and she's been at Matter too since 6th grade. So I'm just excited to see what her journey looks like. I think it's been looking quite different from my own journey, but I think that Matter is just such a place of opportunities and such a place of unique, like, it's a place where people come out of there and they're just like such different individuals, but still we're all able to somehow like make sense of the world and like succeed in our own ways, um and make a difference in the world. And I feel so empowered because I went to Matter.
Yeah, I still see it today. I know for those who don't know, when these ladies say macho, that is Miss Macho, the probably the best CAP advisor ever.
Mm-hmm.
She definitely pushes students to go forget the great schools in the state, but she really opens that world. Like, why not? And I'm glad you guys listened.
Yeah.
I've actually been in meetings where both Miss Macho and the principal at the time would be advocating for a student to the parent, like, let them go, let them go. Yenesis, I wanted to go back to something that you mentioned about your passion and culturally passion, and listening to these Latina women come into the school that are successful, and something that you all didn't see a lot of on media. We still, it's a glimpse that we see. How did that change your path?
Oh my gosh. Oh, this question. I'm so passionate about this question. I talk about it all the time. Okay. Perfect example. I recently finished a film program where essentially I helped contribute to, well, the budget kept on increasing. I don't even know where it's at right now, but I think it was like, it was started with like 1.2 that I think apparently was 2.4 million. Big, like it's an indie film, but that to me, coming from Hialeah, I'm like, tremendo dinero, and actually it all connects back to academica, because number one, going on your question, I just want to emphasize the fact that there was few Latina women on set. There was a cinematographer, which was the first time that director had hired a woman to be a cinematographer. To be a Latina woman directing every single image on the film, that to me was already powerful enough. And actually, going back to academica, one of the other women that's actually one of my best friends today, and I love her so much, and it's so inspiring, Bella Ojeda, went to Doral Academy, goes to Hamilton College like me. I go to Hamilton College in Clinton, New York. It's closer to Canada than the city, and it's a interesting, culturally different school, the Matter Academy. But like Steph was saying, like we go to but this film program, it took place in Nantucket Island and Vermont. And Bella Ojeda was in it with me, and we got so close in that program. She went to Doral Academy, and she's Cuban, because everywhere I go, I just find a Cuban person. It's just like inherent because of Matter, because of how many Cubans and how many Hispanics I had around me. I believe the statistic was 95% Hispanic when I was there. Like that's who I am. That's the force that I am everywhere that I go. That no matter like where I am, like you can take the girl out of Miami, but you cannot take Miami out of the girl. Like it's just what it is. Like everywhere I go, it's just that force and that power. And having Bella on set, it was like a connection that I learned to foster within the people in my community, especially within Latina women, and that force that I was taught at Matter. My drama teacher is a Cuban American woman. Macho is a Hispanic woman, I believe, from Argentina, if I'm not mistaken. And like the fact that we learn as Hispanic women to come together and to be like, okay, statistically speaking, we're the least represented in film, even though Hispanic moviegoers is a very high number statistically. Like we're pushing forth in that. And even in the little spaces, like a film program in Nantucket Island in Vermont, in the middle of nowhere, we find Latina women to come and empower each other. It was me, Bella, which actually, let me tell you how, like, going to a charter school gives you like a hard work ethic and makes you push. Bella became first camera assistant in the B unit of cameras, and that's like one of the highest positions that you can get, and I'm just so proud of her. so proud of her. And like in Doral Academy, they have a very prestigious like drama and film program. And the fact that Bella, with her like genius, I genuinely think she's a genius, like was able to use that knowledge, go to the film program, excel in that, and that people were to see two Cubans like doing what we're doing. And like we both got to do sound together one day, and it was both of us doing sound for the actual movie. So it's like for people in that film program to see two Cuban women that they thought we've known each other for 10 years and we really got close this semester, like that inherent thing that we have in us, the fact that we went to a charter school that promoted a hard work ethic in Miami, which is culturally like a power, we were able to show that to the people. And that started at Matter Academy in Hialeah Gardens with showing me there's Latina women that could succeed and that could do things and that could teach you things, and you can be that one day. So the fact that I got to see that and be that with Bella when this day, literally recently, and we got together with the makeup artist and like Puerto Rican, and people just knew, oh, the Hispanic women were coming. We were going to have fun. We were going to get things done. They were going to succeed in what they did, and they were going to bring energy. And that's literally like everyone knew, like everyone just knew, oh, they came, that's it, you know? And that started because of a charter school called Matter Academy.
Yeah, a lot of times I say that a charter school does a really great job at it, at identifying not only the needs but the talents of the kids they serve. So you all want that end game of success, graduation and high achievement, but how you get there, it's a unique road to every school. And I love that they empowered you that way, because they didn't say, oh, you've got to be this person, kind of shave off your culture, your Hispanic side to fit in. They're like, no, they promoted that, send you off, and you're a power to be reckoned with. Stephanie, what about you? How did that? First of all, you have a strong mom, so right then you've got that, and it carried over to Matter, because I know you all were there when Miss Marty was the principal, and a stronger role model you won't find. So, Stephanie, what about you? How did that shape you?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely my mom. She's also a force to be reckoned with. She's also Cuban, a Cuban mother. And yeah, I mean, I had forgotten until this point when Yenesis brought up the whole ACE Institute thing that we were a part of that. Like, and that was just the back of my head. But actually, because of that opportunity that Matter gave me, and that I believe it was Miss Matrani who that she was my geometry teacher for in ninth grade, and then she became one of the assistant principals now at Matter, and she, along with Miss Macho, and maybe it was a few other of the faculty, the administration, but I don't remember exactly, but I remembered them and selecting like 7 of us, and in our sophomore year, I think it was. Yeah. And they really just saw potential in us, and they brought us into this ACE Institute program. And at that meeting that Yenesis was referencing earlier, somehow I got seated at a table with this judge, Ariana Fajardo, and I just felt drawn to talk to her. And at that time, I was pre-law, and I approached her at the end of everything. And I just said, I'm really interested in potentially like coming and interning with you, or just doing something. Like, I'm just so curious. And she had shared a little bit about her journey to get to the point where she was in her career of being a judge for the Miami Children's Courthouse. But previously, she had been a prosecutor, I believe. And I was just so curious, and she gave me the opportunity. But first, it came from Matter and them giving me the opportunity to even get a seat at the table. And so when I spoke with her, she was just like, I guess, amazed at my curiosity and my intentionality. And she said yes. And thankfully, a few months later in the summer, I went a few times to the courthouse, and I kind of just shadowed her, and she like had me sit with her up at the podium, or however you call that now, I'm forgetting. But I sat with her, and she like, let me see some of the court cases and some of the paperwork. And she even announced my presence in the court one day in the courtroom, which I thought was just crazy. And she also just gave me this wonderful opportunity to kind of get a sneak peek into what law looks like. And so from there, like that really, kind of gave me this idea and this firsthand experience that I hadn't gotten before. And, I've done a 180, and I came into Wellesley thinking, okay, I'm going to pursue law school after Wellesley. But Wellesley in its unique way has just taught me so much. And I pivoted to being pre-med, and that's what I'm chasing now. I'm chasing medical school, and it's been such an uphill battle. But I want to say and also give, credit where credit is due again to Matter, because even though at Matter I didn't take like AP chemistry or AP biology, I did dual enrollment and I graduated with my AA. So I still took, I think, a class of biology at MDC, and even all of the other experiences that I had with like the more humanities based classes that I took, they gave me such a unique perspective to be able to think outside of the box. And now that I go to a liberal arts college, I also just have such a different perspective, I think, and a more holistic perspective when it comes to thinking about medicine, or when it comes to thinking about STEM and science, and what kinds of people are underrepresented in what careers and in what positions and at what levels do systemic things come into play. And I feel like at the root of it all, it really is the opportunity that Matter gave me to get my feet wet and be like, okay, maybe it's not law school, but maybe it is medicine. And how can I apply what I've learned about, our society in the context of medicine?
Wow. Great. Like speechless after you two presented. So let's bring it back. I want to hear so much. I could do 2 hours just talking to you about your personal journeys, but let's bring it back to the importance of choice. So, and I'm sure you've all heard it. It shouldn't be a political, left, right, but it is. It's choices, especially charter schools supported mainly by Republicans, at least in our state. Past presidents have all supported it, but there's always that struggle, like, oh no, this is fake, this is taking money away from a public school. And we always go back and say, it is public. It's just you're giving families the opportunity that can't move to a better neighborhood, to a better school, to have some choice. So could you talk about why choice is important, especially you all coming from Hialeah?
La ciudad que pobreza.
Yeah.
I could start off. When I hear that argument of like, it's unequitable, it's unfair, I question, because at the end of the day, like the school that you're assigned, like the public school that you're assigned, is a product of where you live, a zip code, right? And so, excuse me, I recently got accepted into Teach for America, which is like a nonprofit for education, and it talks about like a child. Like one day they want every child to have an equitable education and have the same amount of resources. However, the resources that a child has is a product of their zip code. And coming from Hialeah, given the taxes, given the socioeconomic statuses of like everyone in total, like the public schools don't get a lot of funding, but charter schools are not taking away funding from public schools. It's actually providing a better opportunity to have more access to resources and give a better opportunity to have a better like chance at getting at good schools. So the way that I see it is that it is equitable, because it's giving minority kids, it's like myself, the opportunity to have all these things that you just heard prior that I wouldn't have had in a public school. And just like hearing about like even the curriculum, like charter schools have more flexibility in how teachers design their curriculum, and how that has helped me as an individual be a more holistic learner, because it's not just narrowed on centering, oh, you're teaching for a test. Like, yes, we have like Matter has one of the best performing test scores, yet teachers have more of the flexibility as an educator to give their students what they need, not what the state thinks they need. Because, if there's a disconnect between the state dictating, oh, this is what these kids need, versus an educator being in the classroom and being like, I could teach the kid how to pass the test, but I can also teach the kid life skills. And by teaching the kid life skills, they're better able to succeed because they're more motivated to be in the class. Like that's what I felt on an individual level. I felt motivated to be there. And sometimes, honestly, I cared more for the subject because I cared about the teacher caring about me. So charter schools allow that flexibility in the first place. And it's equitable because it gives me an opportunity to go to a school that otherwise, because of a zip code that I do not control and I do not have a choice over, wouldn't be able to go to. Like my parents sacrificed their lives coming to this country. They're both Cuban. My dad literally swam for 8 hours across an ocean. My mom came on a raft. So you're going to tell me that they did all this to then come to America and for me as a child to be dictated a school that doesn't have the best resources just because of a zip code? That's inequitable. But if there's a charter school that's allowing any kid from anywhere and mixing all these socioeconomic statuses and kids, yet giving great resources like to the kid, like they did to me, which is a reason why I have a job today, why I have all these opportunities, why I was able to come to and dream of coming to this school that has kids that have had a lot of resources their entire life. Like it just makes sense to me that there's the opportunity, the choice, the privilege of choosing a charter school to go to. And like you said, they are public. So, it's like when you delve into the story, when you go beyond the politics, like everything is so politicized nowadays. But if you hear the story of the kids that are products of these things, then you realize, oh, that works because it's people within the community providing for the community. So those people know what the community needs. And if they're doing it right, which in my opinion, academica is, then it's worth it, I'm gonna drink some water now.
I love the passion. And Stephanie, you said your mom chose a school for you and for your sister. So that was a very important, oh my gosh, that was a very important tool for her to have to select, well, let me look at what's available for and what best fits my kids. Did she ever talk about the importance of choice?
Yeah, I mean, I just remember that the other option was to go to a school that was behind like my elementary, that was a public school, a public middle school, and it didn't have a high school attached. It was just middle school. But it was also like, what made sense because of the zip code and because of where I lived. But I think it might have been some families or some family friend or someone by word of mouth that really encouraged my mom to seek the opportunity to have me apply to Matter and to go to Matter instead. And when she just, heard about how great Matter was, I don't think she thought about it too hard. And she was like, yeah, if this school will take my child, regardless of the zip code, and they have all of these wonderful opportunities, then I don't see why not. And I think speaking a little on a slightly different note, thinking about all of this from a psychological perspective, right? Like when we have a choice, the outcome is better. And I think that's a lot of what is like underlying behind Matter and behind all of these other charter schools that Academica has put on, is this idea of like, well, we get to choose to be here. And like all of the teachers that are at Matter, like they've chosen, to step foot into Matter and, like at whatever point in their trajectory they are in their lives. But like, choice is so important psychologically speaking, and it's important because you are getting to sort of forge your future, and you're going to make the decisions that you think are best for you. And I think that a charter school provides that. They provide choice, they provide the opportunities for you to have decisions to make. And honestly, as like as we've been growing up, like as an adult, you have to make so many decisions. And so Matter teaches you too, like about choice and how to make those decisions. And that's invaluable, an invaluable set of experiences.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so we're going to wrap up because I know you two are very, very busy. So graduation's around the corner. And what is next? I know, Yenesis, you talked about Teach for America. So hopefully we'll have you in Miami in a high needs school. That'll be exciting. And Stephanie?
Yeah, this is the $1 million question. Because I don't know yet exactly what's going to happen. I'm also thinking of teaching though, so I don't know exactly where I will be. My hope is to go back home and teach. I'm not exactly sure yet, But, you know, I'm just trusting that I will also make the right decision. And definitely decisions are coming. Like this is like very, you know, in the works right now. Having to make a lot of decisions as graduating seniors is challenging, but I think Matter, again, pointing back to Matter really equipped me to be in the place that I am now. And also, as I've been talking to a lot of mentors, they're like, you know, it's good that you have choices. It's good that you have these opportunities. Like, this is not a bad thing, you know, to be deciding between this and this and that and that. Like, it's a privilege, like Yenesis was saying, and an honor to be able to have these different opportunities presented to you and have to make a decision. Like, it's not a bad thing. So
yeah, absolutely. And it's something absolutely your school prepared you for, because I remember speaking with Miss Marnie saying, oh no, they don't have a choice. If we push and we pull, and most of the time we're pushing. If a student is comfortable, they're like, you know what, you're going to take it to another level. And that's good. That definitely prepared you to tackle the university and the next steps. All right. Is there anything else you'd like to tell me before we end this chat? Anything? No? Okay. You've said so much, and you're such an inspiration. Talking about the women that came to talk to you at Matter in the ACE program, I certainly hope they wrangle you two to go back and speak with the kids there, because you definitely just had unique experiences, and that glass ceiling that's over Hialeah, boom, you two definitely broke that, and I'm so proud to know you both. Go ahead. Genesis.
Yeah, no, because I know Macho will be like, why didn't you mention APs? Let me no, because I know her. The amount of APs that Steph and I took, and now that you were saying that, oh, like they challenge you. So I remember it was junior year. Yeah, and I was not gonna take AP US history, and then Matrani was like, "You're what? Do you think you have an option?" I was like, "Ah!" And she's like, "You do have an option, but I'm gonna push you to take it." I'm like, and actually, yes, I passed the test. Like, I learned more than and I pushed myself more than I would have, you know. Or like, I wasn't gonna take AP Cal again, BC. That's the thing that mattered. Like, a lot of us take. Steph was in that class with me. We took AP Calculus like junior year of high school, which now I think back on it and I'm like, that's crazy. But that's crazy good. That's crazy good. Like, that's actually like the fact that we did that. And Steph worked so hard on that. I think I worked hard on it too. And it's like, it's what you're saying, complementing the arts and the academics. And I remember at Matter, like, you know, people excelling in both was kind of like a normal thing. Like, I'd go to AP Cal and then I go to my drawing class. And to me, both have equal levels of complexities, because performing is not easy. And Steph could attest to that. Like, the rigor, and especially the rigor that Matter holds you to, and the rigor that my drama teacher held me to, because she saw way more in me than I ever did. And that's the whole other thing. Even being in the drama club, like, my drama director, I didn't go to the meeting, like the interest meeting. And my drama director the next day goes up to me and she's like, "Aren't you at the meeting?" And I was like, you know, and you know, then 2 years later, like, you know, I'm just still in that, and I'm still in the drama club. You know, people going up to you, like a free college tour. I was able to go to the college tour for free. And like, I remember thinking like, oh, I'm not going to be able to go to like college. Like, that wasn't a reality for me. Like Steph mentioned it, you know, and the fact that, okay, it may not be a reality to us because we're first generation. You know, a lot of us are low income, like, we're not used to these things, and our families want us to succeed. But like, the picture of success is not clear to us because no one has ever done it before us. But then the school's like, oh, we know what that picture looks like. Do Posse, do Questbridge. I am a Questbridge scholar. I also was a Posse finalist. Gerardo, who we will interview soon, like, he's a Posse scholar. So the fact that they saw leaders in us, and they saw like innovators in us, and they were telling us to apply to these things in themselves, and I had teachers help me with these applications, like, that means a lot. So that's what Charter Schools of Matter will do. Like, they'll push you more, and they'll like tell you the things that you already are that you didn't know you were.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah. And I love that you mentioned the advanced placement and even the dual enrollment college courses, because it puts you in that mindset, what Stephanie was talking about, just mentally. It's not a bridge to cross once you're at a university. you've already taken those really tough courses in high school. So I guess it breaks up that whole fear of, can I make it? And you're like, well, yes, I've done it. I love that.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for chatting with me. Let's touch base again every year. Let's talk to these alums and follow you what you're doing, because I'm excited of the future that you all are a part of. I can't wait. I hopefully there'll be, even if med school and film, but there's legislator something tapping in you, because my goodness, we could use it. Talk about the lack of Latinas. I definitely, when I go to Tallahassee, I'm like, yes, Senator Alvarez would be great. And Representative Consuegra would be great. Smart lady making policy. All right. Well, thank you so much for chatting with me. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for the time, and thank you, Yenesis, for this opportunity too.
Oh my gosh, Steph, the honor's mine. Thank you.
Okay. Thanks, ladies. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you for listening to Providing Choice, a Florida Charter School Alliance podcast. The Florida Charter School Alliance is the premier support and advocacy organization for charter schools in Florida. Our mission is to increase student achievement and meet the demand for parental choice by assisting, supporting, and advocating for high-quality public charter schools. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe to Providing Choice. To learn more about the Alliance, visit our website at flcharteralliance.org.